Okay, get this. Every single text message, every song you stream, every website you visit, the very possibility of all that digital stuff zipping around,
Yeah.
you can trace it right back to the curiosity of just one person.
It's pretty amazing when you put it like that.
Right. And that's what we're diving into today. Claude Shannon, the father of information theory.
What gets me is he wasn't just some, academic lost in thought. Shannon was super practical, started as a kid tinkering with radios, right? And grew into this, brilliant mathematician, yes, but also a code breaker, an engineer.
And a unicycling juggler.
You can't forget that part.
You really can. A total, Renaissance mind tackling modern problems.
Absolutely. And look, our goal here isn't to drown you in, complex math.
No, definitely not.
We want to unpack the core ideas, those, aha moments from Shannon that built the foundation for, everything digital.
It's like getting the cheat sheet for why your phone works, basically.
Exactly, without the engineering degree. Right. We've been reading through excerpts from a biography on him, and it's just remarkable seeing how that early curiosity about just how communication worked, how it just blossomed into this huge theory.
So let's start right there with that spark. The book really paints a picture of this restless mind.
Constantly questioning.
Yeah, always needing to know how things were put together. Not just that they work, but how. And there's this great quote they shared. I just wondered how things were put together. Simple as that, almost.
Or what laws or rules govern a situation, mainly because I wanted to know myself.
Exactly. It's that pure internal drive.
It wasn't for fame or fortune initially, anyway. It was just needing to know.
Yeah.
And I bet, if you're listening, you felt that too, right? That urge to just go deep on something that grabs you.
Oh, for sure. That I just have to figure this out feeling. Now, it wasn't all smooth sailing for Shannon. The biography talks a lot about his World War II work. Cryptanalysis.
Yeah, the pressure must have been immense. Cracking enemy codes, the stakes couldn't be higher.
Seriously.
And that intense environment, it forced him to think differently about communication itself.
How so?
He was dealing with sending secrets reliably, right? So he started asking these really fundamental questions. What is information anyway? How do you even measure it? How do you fix errors when they inevitably happen?
So the practical problem pushed him towards theory.
Exactly. That pressure cooker environment really distilled his thinking into something much more general, more abstract.
And it's kind of wild to think that even after all that vital work, when he finally published his big paper.
A Mathematical Theory of Communication, 1948.
Yeah, that one. People were skeptical.
Oh, definitely. I think people struggled to grasp the huge implications. His approach was so mathematical.
Right. Applying math to something like communication seemed weird.
Well, yeah. Before him, communication was mostly talked about in terms of rhetoric, language, meaning, not bits and probabilities.
So why was there resistance? What was so radical?
I think it was the idea of treating information as this thing you could measure, quantify it, separate it from its actual meaning.
Oh, yeah.
He basically gave us the blueprint, the sort of mathematical DNA for digital communication, turned it from an art into a science.
That makes sense. The book also gives this great image of his workspace.
Oh, yeah, the famous clutter.
Total chaos, right? Half-finished gadgets everywhere, chess machines, robotic mice.
Those learning mice, super early AI experiments.
It's amazing.
But see, those weren't just random hobbies. They were all connected by that same curiosity. How do systems work, whether it's chess or learning or communication?
So the chaos was part of the process.
I think so, yeah. He was willing to jump between fields, embrace a bit of, messiness. That's often where innovation happens, right? In those unexpected connections.
The book mentions he got some flack for, not always finishing projects in a neat, tidy way.
I remember that.
But it suggests maybe that was the point.
Yeah.
That the exploration itself was the valuable part for him.
I think that's a really important insight. Sometimes the journey, the figuring things out, that's where the real breakthrough lies, even if you don't end up with a, perfectly packaged product at the end.
Pushing boundaries.
Exactly. Just seeing where the questions lead.
Okay, so let's talk about the big controversy, or maybe debate is a better word.
About meaning?
Yeah. The criticism that focusing on bits and probabilities, the mechanics, that it stripped communication of its richness, its meaning.
Right. That reducing language to data points just misses the point of human connection. It's a valid concern on the surface.
So what was Shannon's take on that?
Well, his argument, which turned out to be incredibly forward-thinking, was that you need to master the mechanics first.
Okay.
You have to understand how to encode information, send it accurately, decode it reliably. That's the foundation. Get the plumbing right before you worry about the poetry you're sending through the pipes.
That's a good analogy, like needing a reliable postal service before you can send a meaningful letter.
Precisely. By nailing the how of information, he basically unlocked all these new possibilities for the what.
And the biography drives this home by listing all the tech his work enabled. I mean, it's staggering.
It really is. The internet, obviously. Mobile phones, CDs, DVDs, digital TV.
Even analyzing data from black holes. How does that even connect?
It's about efficiently transmitting and reconstructing signals, even incredibly faint or noisy ones. The core principles apply.
Wow. So basically, our entire modern digital life
Pretty much rests on the foundation Shannon built. Just think about your day-to-day, streaming this, sending an email, video calls, all fundamentally reliant on his information theory. It really shows how fundamental research, stuff that might seem abstract and just change the world.
That's profound. But then there's this really poignant, almost tragic part of the story later in his life.
Alzheimer's.
The
Yeah.
irony, right? The father of information theory, losing his own information, his memories.
It's heartbreaking, really. A stark reminder of, how fragile our own minds are, even for someone who understood information so deeply.
But his intellectual legacy,
Yeah.
that obviously endured.
Absolutely. It's still incredibly vibrant, still inspiring new generations of scientists, engineers, mathematicians. His life is just this powerful testament to curiosity and, honestly, courage.
Courage to ask the big questions.
And to stick with them, even when people are skeptical.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, when was the last time you just took something apart, maybe not literally, but intellectually, just to see how it ticked?
Or followed a question just because you were curious, not because you needed an answer for something specific.
Yeah, exactly. Shannon really showed that true innovation, the big leaps, they often come from questioning the basics.
Daring to imagine things could be totally different.
And there's that other great Shannon quote the biography mentions.
Oh, the one about the future.
Yeah, the only way to predict the future is to invent it.
It's brilliant. So concise.
Captures his whole mindset, doesn't it? Don't just wait and see. Build it.
Yeah, be proactive. And that's a lesson for all of us, I think. Don't shy away from the unknown. Follow that curiosity. Build stuff. Try things.
Even if you're not sure where it leads.
Especially then, maybe.
So wrapping this up, key takeaways from Shannon's story. For me, it's definitely the power of just asking why and how.
Yeah, that relentless curiosity.
And the value of connecting dots between different fields, not staying in one little box.
And the sheer impact of fundamental research. Stuff that doesn't seem immediately useful can change everything down the line.
Totally. What about for you?
Well, building on that, I keep thinking, how could we apply his way of thinking, looking for the fundamental rules beyond just tech?
Like where?
I don't know, complex systems in nature, or even societal structures, social interactions? Are there underlying laws of information flow there that we're missing?
Whoa, that's a big question. Applying information theory to society.
Maybe. What are the fundamental rules governing those situations? It's just a thought to chew on.
That's definitely provocative. A good place to leave it, I think. We hope you keep that Shannon-esque spirit alive. Keep exploring. Keep asking what if.
Let curiosity be your guide. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.